because I only know Kate and him from Longview, and so when
Kate's very. Okay, how do I explain Kate? Well, you know Kate.
I know Kate a lot. I probably know.
I'm trying to figure out how to explain Kate because she's good. Okay. Kate does not have a wide range.
Yeah.
Okay, so you know, if we're doing a comedy or something, she has amazing comedic.
Yeah, that's true.
She is fantastic if you're doing a comedy. If you need something more, I'm not too sure that's your best bet.
Yeah.
But most of what we do is comedy because we're trying to get families and stuff here. So she's like our go-to girl.
Let me email you the.
Yeah, and can I get on the Wi-Fi?
Oh my gosh.
It's okay. If not, I do have a hotspot.
I'm trying to remember the. Let's try. Is it? Let's try this. F-I.
Which?
There's one says front, one says back. Price is up front.
Up front.
Let's do that one.
Okay.
Let's try this. FINZI 665 exclamation. Let's see if that's it.
I think it is.
Is it accepting it?
Yeah.
Okay. And this is, all right. Number, send you script. And it's, so question.
Yes,
So
sir.
your email address is, okay, so I have your email address as C.A. Maxwell. Okay.
807.
And your actual name is Ann Jeanette.
Well, Sherry Antoinette.
But you just go by Sherry.
I go by Antoinette.
So what do you want us to call you?
AJ.
You want us to call you AJ? Okay, I can do that. Because I had like 3 different names. And I'm confused.
Sherry's my first name, so everyone at work and stuff
They can
refers
call
to me
you.
as Sherry because that's what's on my application.
Okay.
Sherry is spelled with a CH, and I really get annoyed when people call it Cherry all the time.
I can see.
So I go by Antoinette. But the problem with that is it's 9 letters plus an apostrophe. And that gets mispronounced a lot too. You'll be surprised how often they call it Anjanetta.
Oh.
So it just got short to AJ.
Gotcha. I was just asking. I wasn't sure. Okay. Did you get it?
Yes, I did.
Okay. Can you? I sent you the PDF. Gosh, did I send you the PDF?
Yes, you did.
Okay. All right.
One of my favorites, I had a guy the entire year call me Annulette. There's no L's.
Just imagine some extra syllables in there.
I know, guys, Annulette for a whole year. And I'm like, I don't know what that word is, but
It sounds like an amulet.
Yeah.
well, he called me Annulette, and I had another teacher, which I didn't mind this name because it's actually one of my favorite characters, called me Angelique the entire year.
Oh, okay.
And I was like, hey, that I'll take. Perfect.
All
So-
right, here we go, guys. What I was wanting to do in this session was, so does everybody know each other? So,
Sort of.
okay, Lucas Stroh.
Hi.
Lucas is in real life is a photographer with the Kilgore newspaper, so he has a lot of
Fantastic.
photography background, and he is graciously accepted all of the additional work that comes with being director of photography for the club this year. And so Lucas is going to actually manage a team of 6 people this year, which is our biggest camera crew yet. We're on two separate camera crews. that chair hopefully will be full here in a little bit. Mike Knight, who was one of the original members, wasn't able to be part last year, but is taking over from Josh, the audio side of things, and so he's going to be head of the audio department for this year. Josh is taking over from Laura, who left the group and they moved away. He's going to be in charge of lighting this year, head of lighting. Everybody knows Amber,
Yeah.
our assistant director, who's graciously agreed to take this huge amount of load off of me that I think I sleep better every night.
Well, that's good. That's all I'm here for.
And AJ has done almost the same thing Amber has. I just had this warm feeling in the back of my head said, oh, if something gets out of control, AJ can handle it. So anyway, we also have Tim Pierce is on the line there, who is our drones, aerial cinematographer. Okay, so small group, and all we're really doing today is we're going to go through every word in the script, and we're going to break it out. I have a spreadsheet here. I don't know what you want to do. You just want to sit with me, and we'll do it from the computer together, or you can use that script. Sure. Okay, wait. Okay, so we're good.
Yeah,
Okay. So here we go. Okay, so and it's just word by word. Guess what? First word is Tommy. So we have our first character, and cast is a blue one or a purple one if you want to mark it on the script. So we're going to take Tommy, and we're going to put on scene one. We'll put Tommy in scene one. All right. Tommy and Vito. So we got another character, Vito, in scene one. What happened to Tommy and Vito? There we go. All right. Tommy and Vito are standing on the lawn. And that really just means the area, so we're not really saying grass, so we're okay there. Outside of a courthouse. So courthouse is our first location. So we're really looking for like the area outside of a courthouse. And so I'm gonna pop that down.
On location, how far out of Longview do you want to go?
As far as we have to, but you know, since we've got people from all over, you know, we've got Hugh Springs, Dallas, Houston, Tyler, you know, Nacogdoches, all different directions. So I try to keep us, you know, as long as we're East Texas, I think we're okay.
When you were talking about a courthouse the other day,
Yes.
I live in a small town. We're talking about Farmer Bumpkinville,
Yeah.
called Fairfield.
Okay.
They have an old courthouse in their town square. In fact, the whole town would be
Yeah.
perfect for Bumpkinville.
Let me.
Gilmer and Henderson are pretty old
Gilmer's
courthouse
good.
as well.
And so does Marshall.
Yeah.
And Marshall's got that big open space right around the courthouse.
So that's also a good spot.
That was.
But Fairfield might be a little far. It's on the other side of Palestine, so this one's like that might be a little far to go.
Yeah.
But they've got a great square.
Yeah.
Built around the
Mhm.
courthouse.
Well, we go through first. We'll make a list of everything we need, and we'll come back and break those out, and then come up with ideas for suggestions for each one. I was given the same suggestion about Marshall from Michelle Reber, and I think what we'll do is once we'll get all of our things we know, then we'll start linking them up with sources for those, and then we'll start calling around and seeing who's amenable to it. Like I know when we got permission to film in Gladewater, we call it Gladewater and say, we'll find out what are your rules for, you know, shooting a film in Gladewater, and they go, shooting a film in Gladewater? We don't have any rules. Try not to set the town on fire. Okay, we got it. And,
Well, there goes my fire. Okay.
so, but of course, I figure there's other places where they're going to add. I think our cutoff point comes where where they start requiring insurance of us, because that becomes pricey. I mean, it can cost you, $2,000 a day to get insurance. And so we're gonna find a group of places, and we're gonna call around and see if they're amenable to letting us film there for free. So okay, so we got courthouse.
What color are we doing the courthouse? Is that green?
Yes, it's used to light green because we replace livestock. I don't think we're gonna be livestock. Okay, so we got the courthouse, and we're in the area outside of the courthouse. So maybe what we want to do is say courthouse, courthouse lawn, just so, because I think about the long view of the Gray County Courthouse here. It has its nice statues and things like that. It'll be a really interesting place to film. A lot of shade. There's a lot of upsides for
Lots of
us.
trees.
So, okay. All right. He's going to look up. He shields his eyes from the sunlight with his hand. Those are all things that our actors are going to have hands for. Vito. And we don't make fun of my accent. Let's get a move on before it rains. Tommy. What? You like getting wet? Tugs on lapel. And that's just any jacket. So let's go ahead and just use lapel to note that we're talking about a costume. So at this point, we need what, two? We need two costumes. So we have Vito and Tommy. I think Vito, he needs a nicer mob suit. But Tommy needs a much less nice one, because we want to see him using his little magical book here to propel himself in the very next scene that we dress nice. So we've got two costumes there. There's a reason these duds say dry clean only. Relax. This will be a piece of cake. In and out, Vito. Like Mr. Morelli said, we've got an inside man. We go in, pick up the package, make some noise, loose. Tommy, no. Police got no evidence, they got no case. We hit it unnoticed, Tommy boy. During the scene, Tommy notices these little events. Gum. Gets gum on his shoe. So also, in their costumes, we need to make sure that Tommy has kind of not nice shoes.
What color do you want costumes, lighting, and sound?
See?
Color for costumes, lighting, and sound.
Okay.
Just real quick. Let me get
Yeah.
those so you're not having
Cast
to.
is blue.
I was gonna ask about sound effects because we got the thunderclap.
Yeah.
I got the. In truth, I'm looking at this and I don't think this is the same list that I use. But cast is kind of a purpley blue. Extras I've got in is kind of a darker green. Props I've got in is kind of a brown. Costumes I've got in is orange. Makeup, blood, wounds, prosthetics, all that kind of stuff under purple. I think that's a little mix with special effects there. Vehicles, I've got a kind of a teal color. Stunts are red. Special effects are.
I guess that makes sense.
They're
Red explosion switch.
I would not have done that this way. Anyway, special effects are kind of a, what is that, light blue? Yeah, and we're not going to have any livestock or animals in it. And so we're by the other colors in that.
I missed your lighting and sound colors.
Which one?
Lighting and sound colors. Did you give me those, or you don't want those?
We were just,
Cool.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Okay, so we got his not so nice shoes, and then we need a prop, we need gum. Okay, when we have gum, we also have to get gum off of whatever we leave it on. So we're gonna need some kind of gum dissolver, gum, something else. He's gonna step on the side. We can't leave gum on the sidewalk, so
Yeah.
we need some kind of gum remover.
Use like nail polish remover to make stuff less sticky and
that kind of thing.
spray it up.
Yeah. And then maybe some kind of little scraper. That's not technically a prop though, is it? We'll separate out what we need from what's actually seen in the scene mode. Okay. So we got the gum, scrapes it off. People are filthy. You know, you gotta think about getting some better shoes. Shoes make the man. Okay, we're gonna walk up steps into, now we're at a new location. This is the inside of what is supposed to be the courthouse. Doesn't mean we have to film it all in the same place. So we're now in scene 2. This is inside the house. Okay, they're walking down the hall. So, hall here.
We'll need some extras for that, for them to, and they could be
Yep.
crew or other actors.
We probably will need a few extras in the hall there. Okay, so hall. We don't know exactly where we're going to have this. It's not critical to the plot. They're going in. They're going to go to some location within the courthouse. It could just be an office. So whatever our location works out to be, I'm going to say this is evidence location. So evidence office maybe. Oh, that's a spreadsheet. Up there. Okay. Okay, let's grab some extras. And we're gonna need a few here. So, in hall extras. We won't need any where they're going to because that's kind of the whole point. They're going to arrive there to discover that
They're just people they're passing.
they're people that are passing. Right? Yeah.
And you said extras were what color? I'm sorry. Does it-
Kind of a dark green.
So maybe like, usually in courthouses, there'll be people waiting to pay their parking tickets,
All kind of folks.
legal assistance, a police officer or two.
Yep. We'll probably hold on the police officers because we're going to use them outside.
Yeah.
Okay, we're still in swing. Okay, so here we go. No one there. He's going to check his watch. So we need to get a watch in as a prop.
Prop is brown, yes.
Watch in. Okay, now we have cop cars. That goes under vehicles. Vehicles are kind of a blue color.
I was going to ask about that. So since this is kind of a period film, there's
Are we doing that?
yeah.
So,
I mean, if we
my
just had
nephew,
I was good.
so 2 ideas. One is my nephew, Trent, is in a car club thing in Tyler.
Cool.
And he says that there are people in these car clubs that, you know, they love to show their car off. That's what they live for it. Sometimes they even show up to these things dressed up in the era.
Oh, cool.
And so we're going to try to make contact with them.
Mm-hmm.
In a worst case scenario, we will take a look at CGI in some cars
Okay.
at a distance.
Yeah. So if we had a classic car and we could just get an old-fashioned looking, one of those flashing lights, just to
Mhm.
mount on it somewhere.
Mhm. Yep. Set it up on top of the.
Yeah.
And so we're gonna reach out. So we're looking for cop cars, or we could be looking just for a period vehicle that we can put a light on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just make a note of that. Okay. All right, and Okay, he looks at it and goes, coppers, we've been rented out. Can't get away, we gotta hide. Okay, scene 3, running upstairs. So we need some stairs.
I think most of the courthouses in the immediate area are at least 2 stories.
So I had the top floor of that. You know, there's only 2 big buildings in Longview. There's that 6-story one, and then the whole bank one building.
Yeah.
I had the top floor of that 6-story building for a decade or more, and it's beautiful on the 6th floor. But on the 5th floor, it is pure 1920s original everything.
Cool.
And so I have 2 real estate ladies who I think are going to help me, and so we might try to get that.
Okay.
And that place, so the whole 5th floor is all, Humphrey Bogart, Sam Spade kind of looking. And the stairway going up that thing is just classic 20s, perfect
Awesome.
stairway. So it might be able to use that one.
Also, if you're talking about stairways in the hallway, just an old style, you might, and since it doesn't have to be the same building, you might want to consider the high school in Kilgore.
That was built in the 20s.
Yeah,
It's very old looking.
Yeah, and it's long hallways,
Yeah.
and it just goes, and then it goes up, level up,
Mhm.
so you can actually put a camera on
Catch
that.
them underneath almost as they're.
Right, you can actually put a camera on the landing, because there's a landing right there, it's up
There's old
landing.
archways,
Yeah,
old doors.
no,
Okay.
the archways in the hallway outside, they bricked over for safety, because people like me kept jumping off the 7th floor and saying, hey, what's this? So they bricked those up now for safety. But the inside is still,
Cool.
unless they renovated recently.
All they've done recently is put in new air conditioners and fix the roof. But the roof, they made it look like the old roof.
It's the old room,
That old.
yeah, 'cause the inside's got, the inside has plenty of landings and stuff, you
Yeah.
can actually shoot going up and coming down.
Yeah, then that'll be nice, that kind of thing. Okay, so stairs, halls, under location. Okay, they're looking for doors. Doors to try and open. Okay, one of these rolling mop bucket things. Let's put that under props. It has to be old style. That's
Yeah,
one thing.
the old looking ones.
Yep, exactly.
I'll go find something like that in an antique shop.
Yep.
Let me get with, once I do this, let me get with Diane, she might actually have one of those, maybe it's something like that recently.
So find the open door, okay, he rolls it in, they step inside. Okay, now we need some kind of office, older office. I'd like to find really office/library, like a lot, so it looks kind of like a little law library, just a small room, books and stuff. Bookshelves, yeah, bookshelves. And that's so that the book that they come across is one of them many. So that's going to be in scene 3. Okay, so scene 4, we're still in that same law library. Check out scene 4. Same law library. And it needs a window, or we'll have to find either that or some other one we can shoot from. Lights coming in, Tommy goes over to the window piece down. Okay, speaking whispers, what are they waiting for? Clearing the building, foist. Then they're coming in after us. Okay, foist. You gotta just foist. You know what I mean? You hear what I mean, right? Okay. So, we will almost certainly, and that, even though it's not on the script here, you do cut-ins, right? We're almost certainly going to have cut-ins with people exiting the building with the cops.
Okay.
So let's just see if we need that here or. There is a line, I think we'll wait for that. So there we're talking,
You know, at the bottom of two, his last line, it's a big building.
oh, yep, that's what it is, so we'll do that here, we'll do it in the same form. So, I don't know, we're safe here, at least it gives us time to think, it's a big building, take them a while. We'll undoubtedly do some cut shots there to extras, being led from the building, extras, cops. That's good, we'll get some extra cops. Okay, we need a gun,
Bullets.
and bullets in this.
So, since the time period, when they had semi-automatics, but probably a revolver.
Yep, so Tim has graciously went in and he bought 2 of those $200 airsoft Tommy guns that look so real.
Okay.
So we have 2 really nice ones. Of course, we'll make them up to look even better.
Yeah.
And he bought 2 of those also super nice 38 specials
Oh, perfect.
from the hero. So we've got 2 of those. So things that are closer to the camera, those people get the good guns. People
Yeah.
further away get the
Get the.
lesser.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right, so we need actually bringing. I guess we'll go ahead and say guns, but we'll make sure that we have one for Vito and for Tommy.
Like, I know they make like snap caps and dummy bullets, but if we're filming like,
Oh, you'll probably hold a bullet or something.
yeah, but if we were filming in a courthouse, I don't know how that'd be.
Oh, we do that here. We do the cutaway in there.
Okay.
Or something here. We just take the dummy guns up there.
Okay.
Yeah, do that. Okay, so time passes and you trip out of the building. And, okay. We're gonna have Vito, so we're looking for an old style phone as a prop. For a 20s phone.
Texas Shoes has a 10
That's what I was thinking was. Are you talking about one of the ear? At that year, I'm thinking it was either an earpiece or one of the old black.
I think
When
you
I first
can,
looked
I
at
think you can still. I think we're talking about 30s. You're talking about rotaries by then.
You are from what room?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's roughly that time. I know by the, there's
Yeah, so next to
there's
both
a,
of them.
Oh, okay, it is. Yeah, because this is gonna be hard to find, but I know you
Yeah.
probably can find that.
Old rotary
the
phone.
black rotary phone. I think would be just
KC
fine.
Theaters probably.
We-
Definitely.
yeah. I know that they definitely have one. We use it for mousetrap for sure.
So I've got a thing here that says he uses the.
Killers.
So I have a line here talks about using the phone on the desk. Well, technically we don't. We know what we're going to put a table in that room because we're going to tump the table over, and so probably just put the phone on the table. So we don't necessarily have to have the desk. So we're going to come in there and say table, and I'm going to alter the script to say table. Okay. Okay, and yeah, we know we need books because it's like a library, so we're going to need some books to populate with. Keeps a watch out through the window. Notices. Okay, now we notice the book. So I'm going to write the word novella book. And it's our magic. It's kind of seeing this kind of a white book, whereas everything else is dark. Notices the book and takes it down, starts reading it. Last words on the page. So we need to come into prop and say printed page. How we gotta see this? Covers up to something. No, it's book. You gotta see this book. A book. Get your head in the game, kid. You gotta come up to something fast. This ain't right. I'm telling you, this book, it's freaking about us. Forget about it. You know, time you're reading Crime and Punishment. It's not just any book. 2 wise guys in a courthouse stealing evidence to protect the boss, getting sold out, hiding Tommy and Vito. Our names are printed in right the hell here. Vito's expression shows interest. It goes pull away though from the sounds outside. A megaphone. And so I've got a megaphone, but we need an old style looking megaphone. Luckily, it doesn't have to work. I mean,
Right.
all we need is broken stuff. So we get a megaphone. Okay, then we tap the Irish accent on the police here. So, yes, the police, we know you two roads are inside. Come out, come in now. You won't be harmed. Make us coming after you, and we won't go easy for you. Tommy's all scared. What do we do? We're gonna surrender. When you gonna surrender, whatever we do would be half as bad as what Marley would do. More sound, when it's from outside, Tommy peeks out the window. Jesus, okay, so we're gonna see cops again in this scene. So we already got cops as an extra. We have guns. They wouldn't necessarily have their guns drawn running in there, but they probably would, wouldn't you figure?
Yeah.
So we probably need more guns for cops.
Yeah.
Okay. And then on costumes, right? We're gonna need cop uniforms. And then how do you do that? We're just looking for period guard for the extras. And ladies in longer dresses. So, something like that. Okay, we top over the table as soon as the book flying. Table, they draw their guns, they take a position. People are going down the hallway. We really need to see if we can find a location that has a door with a glass window, that opaque glass window.
Yeah.
Westeros High School has a ton of them in their building.
Okay, so I'm gonna make a note here that we're looking for a door with opaque glass window. What do you call it on doors? Is it a window on your door?
Yeah.
Opaque glass window. Okay. Page starts to glow, it grows brighter, he sees the light, kind of light. Tommy scrambles for the book. Cops who have passed by hear a noise, look back. They see the glow from behind the door, puts his hand to block the lights, ineffective, growing brighter as the cops are drawn. They're each on each side of the door. Tommy closes the book, and just as the light becomes so intense, fade to white. Okay, scene 5. External park is outside the city. So everything now resets. They're exactly where they were when they started this whole thing out outside again. Shaping his eyes. So we have Tommy and Vito as my cast. Stick them in scene 5. Scene where it rains. Tommy's looking around. He's got a book in his hand. He's got a book in there. Stops to avoid the gun on the sidewalk. Set looks to New York for more than one piece of gun. One time it's there and you don't step in it, one time it's there and you do. Well, I guess we can pull that over.
Yeah.
What's the gun on the sidewalk? Again, let's sit down, let's take a minute. They sit on the bench. They're talking, the cops. So the cops are our extras in the scene. We probably want to say cars, or cop cars again as well. Vehicles, cop cars. We're going to need costumes for the cops. Guns for the cops. those guns. Vito's gun, at least. All right, we're gonna need some kind of holster.
Yeah.
We need some kind of holster for in this scene, so he can be seen reaching into his jacket. We see the gun in a holster.
Like shoulder holster?
Some kind of shoulder holster. Let's put that in there. Oh, shoulder holster.
I might be able to find one of those used at a pawn shop or something.
Actually, I've got a cousin that actually owns a gun shop.
Oh.
I'll see if we can, if you would, if for a, mention in the
Mention,
credits, if you would,
Yeah,
loan us some stuff.
that'd be cool.
Would it be visible?
I think what's going to happen is they're sitting on the bench, and then also the cops and Vito's going, he doesn't know anything's going on, and then the cops got him. Two cops are running on the sidewalk right towards them, and he thinks they're coming towards him, and so he's reaching his jacket. So we're going to grab it over the
Okay.
shoulder, so you see him reaching for it and gun
Okay.
in his jacket, and that's when Tommy kind of just pushes it shut and
Yeah.
like that. So we need to see the holster.
Okay. Because the older ones are more leather.
More leather.
The modern ones are.
Yep. Or tack oriented.
Yeah.
Okay, so prop holster and our holster. So bench, okay, we need a bench. I'm gonna stick that as a prop. Although we'll probably just use one there.
Yeah.
Anyway. So we're sitting on the bench, cops running by, Tommy keeps him going, time to release. Okay, scene 6. Room of wise guys. Okay, so this is a nice 20s room, right? So our location here, we're going to call this a nice 20s room. Tim may have located one for us. Okay. There's apparently a museum in either Kilgore or Tyler. He knows where it is, and he went there and got some video we can take a look at. Okay, so it's a room full of wise guys. Here is where we need it. Pretty much all of our gangsters are going to be in this scene. So we're going to have some extra gangsters. So I'm going to call them mobsters. So we need some mobsters that are extras who aren't going to necessarily talk. Costumes. Now you're going to need mobster suits. There's a flapper girl in this scene. So we need a flapper dress, kind of thing, 20s dress. We're also going to have our big boss there, so we're going to he needs to be in a really nice mobster suit.
And the first guy that starts speaking like Marlon Brando gets punched.
No. So, okay, so in the scene we have our cast. We have Tommy, Vito. Hey, baby. Oh, hello. Thanks for helping. Tommy, Vito, Morielli, the Betty character. Those are the known ones that right now they're going to speak. I'm undoubtedly going to be more lines in there. We'll give them names later, but we know who all wants a speaking role. There's an easy way for me to get names there. Okay, and then the couple school wasn't right by us. It was upstanding citizens or something. Now, telling you, if we hadn't been for Tommy here, we've been pinched for sure. How'd you know, son? Mr. Rowley, Tommy, you can go far in the organization tech, congrats from Blue Pats. You can attract sometime, interested look, Betty in, orders, supporting plays, never knew you could really book has to be in this scene under props.
Might be cliche, but will there be anybody smoking? If it's while they're all gathered around the table?
It's a good point. Matter of fact, I've been thinking about the whole concept of affectations. Um, there's somebody who's spinning his keys. There's somebody
Yeah.
who's flipping a coin between his fingers. There's somebody who's smoking.
Yeah.
But I was going to encourage them to think up their own affectations for this.
That's
But I
fine.
could, and it's hard to say. What if we're in that museum house and they don't want anybody smoking?
Right.
It's not a killer. But if they let us smoke, what's the problem?
Yeah.
You know,
And some people just chew on cigars.
and something just chewing.
Yeah, you can get stage
Yeah,
cigars and
Yeah.
cigarettes. They look real.
Look real.
You
And you
can-
can just
Yeah,
CGI and
and it's
smoke.
super easy to make real looking fake cigars. Like,
Yeah.
super easy.
Okay, let's go ahead and do that. Well, let's go into under props here and let's just say
Maybe I'll
affectations. So we're probably looking for a coin, keys, cigars, and that kind of thing.
glass ashtray or two.
So there will probably be a bunch of little things which I want the mobsters to I want each mobster to kind of envision himself and invent himself. So we have some uniqueness.
Yeah.
So that'll probably grow as the actors figure out how to do things. So looks in that scene, looks back. Unwilling. Okay. Scene 7. Camera opens on new shiny shoes. So under props, so I guess that's costumes. Nice shiny shoes. Nice suit. Okay, so in this scene we're gonna have Tommy, Eddie, Sue, and Johnny. Our cast in that scene. There will be some extras, but we'll get to that in a second. So with those, we're gonna definitely need costumes. Sue some kind of dress. Betty, I don't know if we can keep her in the same flapper dress. I don't know why not. Probably could. Although time's passed, although in our story, time doesn't really mean anything. So we could keep her probably in the same flapper dress. So I think we're okay with that. And then Johnny, we'll put him in. He needs to not be. So we need to think of what we want for Johnny. Some kind of credits for Johnny. Okay, Betty is checking her makeup in the compact mirror, so we need to get her compact mirror. Hey, Susie, he's Johnny around. What you want? What? I gotta want something to see my bestest friend. 10 moments, the lamps door opens. That's a location. So we need a location. First of all, we need a hall that he can be standing out front and a door to be answered.
Is this supposed to be more of like an apartment
Yeah,
or a home?
It is an apartment. I hope.
Okay.
I have no idea where to do this. Maybe we'll come up with ideas. Maybe we'll match things up. But yeah, kind of like a old style apartment building.
Okay.
If it were possible to find such.
We could even use a rundown crappy hotel that's around along here as far as the hallway goes.
It's possible.
I don't know what's that.
There's plenty of those, trust me.
Oh yeah.
Those we got.
I'd like to film your hotel. What kind of movie are you filming by? Not that kind. Not
We
that
just
kind.
need the hallway.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
Let us film here or we're putting your name in it. You'll find yourself in the credits. if you're
Yeah,
not
special
careful.
thanks too.
Special thanks.
Or not letting us in.
Yeah.
Okay, so they come on in and they're laughing. It's my job to protect you. You get better host than I do. Reaches for her purse, assuming it's a purse prop. Purse for Sue. Okay, exits the apartment. Tommy tugs on his new extra nice clothes. Tommy has a watch. Is a watch costume or prop?
I would say costume.
Did you wear it?
Maybe a pocket.
Pocket watch or
I was thinking wristwatch at this point.
Do they have a wristwatch? I'm trying to think of the 20s. Was there a wristwatch in the 20s?
I'm sure they were around. They might not have been
I don't know.
super custom.
I don't know.
Because that'd
be something to research.
that's again, it's like the phone. I think that was the transition era
Yeah.
from the pocket
Right.
and the wrist, because it was about that same time.
Mhm.
And that was
Yeah, the
like the
mix
same
of-
question with the phone.
Did they have wrists? Did they have wristwatches as well back then? In like 2030s?
It might have been something that you would need money, like a good bit of money to have.
So they were the newer, they were the more expensive item versus the pocket watch today, which is the reverse of today.
Because we.
I think we're going to go with pocket watch because it works out well. Because he's going to need that in a later scene where we want a nice dial with a second hand going on there.
Okay.
So we're going to make a pocket watch. Okay, check that. Okay. Up for a pint. So, okay, location wise, we need an apartment. We need a 20s, 30s apartment. That's a lot easier said
Yeah.
That's gonna be
I
tricky.
I know, I'm
no
just-
clue on that one.
than
Right now, I've been looking. I'm just looking for looking at the outside of buildings that might have lofts upstairs or something like that.
So, prop wise, we need the book. We also need 2 beer glasses, which I have actual British stamped beer glasses. So I can provide that.
I don't care about the beer glasses. What beer are you putting?
Yeah, exactly.
We successfully made cream soda look like beer in the last one.
Looks a lot like.
Well, that's so fun.
That's for the after party.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had whiskey that was actually tea, and I'm like,
I know, yeah, that's what we used to.
By the fifth take, they're like starting to slur their language.
invite me to mention.
Yeah.
It's obviously cream soda. Okay. And our mugs. Okay. Okay, camera opens to the mugs in the book. So we're on scene number 8. Book. Beer. Mugs. They're empty now. So we don't need more soda. The book is there. They're talking and talking. He picks up the book. They talk. And then he sits back on the talk. So, just pointing out here, this is the longest sequence of dialogue probably in the entire
Mhm.
film. And so, it's going to require a lot of breaking up and using the slider for catching the
Yeah.
real slow over the shoulder shots and things like that, and looking for those specialty shots to do cutaways and things in the scene to do cutaways. I may even do some cutaways with Betty to cross the room, where she's doing makes a noise that causes some. We're going to need to break that up.
Yeah. Okay.
So all the way over. Tommy checking his watch again. Costumes of Tom. Okay, so we're same thing. We got Tommy and Johnny. Let's get those down as cast. Tommy, Johnny, and Betty is still in the room but doesn't have much to do going on. So we need the costumes. Betty's dress. Tommy, nice suit and shoes. Johnny, his outfit over it's gonna be. Okay. We need, yep,
I'm sorry.
Sure.
I do a lot of costume. I was thinking of his costume.
Yep.
With that particular time period. I mean, they're obviously on Skid Row, so I would make sure he's not, in a suit. He's
Oh,
like a
definitely.
worker.
He's a worker.
Maybe
Yeah.
something like a plumber, carpenter.
Suspenders. And
Yeah.
Just suspenders and rolled up white
Yeah,
shirt.
rolled up.
Right,
Roll
yeah,
up, I
'cause,
like
you're,
that,
you're,
yes.
look, you're looking
I
at
like
a
that.
worker.
He's taking responsibility for life, he's not,
Right,
he's a crap criminal, I
Yeah.
like that.
Right.
Okay, yeah, let's do that. Yeah, this is gonna be more, so we'll say Johnny's outfit, I'm gonna come in there, print these, so we're talking about, rolled sleeves, suspenders.
working class at that time, the Abbey hats were.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you want me to, as soon as you send me your spreadsheet now, I can break it down into spreadsheets that are just props. So like your people who are in charge of that don't have to look at the whole thing.
You bet. I like that, yeah, let's do that, I like that a lot.
See the props and costumes, let's up and down, because I'm gonna get with Diane.
Yeah,
See,
yeah.
Unfortunately, I don't know if she's gonna work with us, because she's, only worked with theater in the past, so
Mhm.
she's never been approached for film, but,
Mhm.
if I have a list to show her,
Mm-hmm.
we might be able to get that.
I'm also going to talk to Chris Wheeler. Do you know her?
Eventually.
She used to be the high school teacher at Henderson, the high school theater teacher at Henderson.
Okay.
Like the stock that she built up for them is crazy. I'm just like, I don't even understand. They have a bigger stock of stuff than Killer College does.
100 years ago, when Longview Community closed down,
Mm-hmm.
Diane got most of her stuff.
Oh, we were just talking about that.
Oh.
About how, they went through that period where they were closed for a few years, and I always wondered what happened to all that stuff.
Diane.
Really?
That is so funny.
No, we got some. The
When you
new
started back
theater.
up?
When we started back up, we did get some of it from them, but not
But by
half.
that time, it had been mixed in with all her stuff.
Right,
Yeah.
right. So Diane has a lot of stuff from the old community theater.
That's cool. Oh, we so funny, we were just talking about that. So, okay, so mobster cars under vehicles.
Where are we at exactly?
We're on scene 8. I'm down on page, bottom page 12. They got the screeching of the cars. And Betty runs over, they look out the window, and they see the mobster cars. And so now the mobsters are getting out, so I need extras. We need our extra mobsters.
They'll need their guns.
And their guns.
But like you're talking about, if we're shooting down from the window, we could use like the
Almost anything.
Tommy
Yeah.
guns. Yeah.
Yeah, but we want to get some really, we're going to shoot down, we're going to have drone stuff going at the same time, so we're going to have really good shots like that.
Okay, cool.
But then we're also going to have, we'll probably like leave one camera upstairs getting stuff from the window, and we'll probably take your camera, send you down to the street level. And, they come in and they open the car door, right? And you can shoot through the window, and, get the really specialty shots like that.
Okay.
And, okay, so mobster cars. All right, and one of the things that we're going to do that we've never done before is we're going to have to work with the city. We're going to have to contact them and say, I need to see, can we block this street off for 1 hour between this time and this time on Sunday afternoon? And do things like that.
That would be City Hall.
That's City Hall. Yeah.
I've had to do some of that stuff
Yeah.
for Mojo's because we blocked off areas of the road just for concerts and stuff outside. So.
I'll work in City Hall. I can
Okay.
get you the contact.
Let's talk about this after we're done
Yeah.
because I don't know anything about how to do that.
Mhm.
Every time I've asked for something, it's always been okay. I've never had to actually go through a process to get them to say something. So I need to learn that. Okay.
And Sonia over at Kilgore is that's one of the things they're talking about at this year's film festival is they want people to shoot films in Kilgore. So she would probably be pretty receptive to that. She's in City Hall there.
Okay, awesome. Okay, so they look down from the window. They see the mobsters getting out. Okay. So we need the mobster cars, the dress. We need the costumes for the other mobsters. What's it down here? And let's see, extra lobster suits, shoes, etc.
Looks like a set of Skittles thrown up online.
I know, it's like, what's interesting?
All right, the duck back inside. Betty turns and runs away, leaving Tommy to think for himself. Morelli's getting what's happening. Tommy picks up the book. So we're in chapter 9 now? Or, no, we're still in 8.
Yeah.
So the book's still there, everything's still there. Oh, okay, that's good. We're finished out chapter 8. Let's go and scene 9. Tommy gets out a nice new legal pad. Prop number 1. Legal pad. Pen. Something that had to be period appropriate on that pen.
Yeah.
Or pencil.
I've got a couple of fountain pens.
I do too.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's probably the easiest problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can still buy disposable fountain
Oh,
pens
yeah.
down the road.
I used to do that a long ago. That's been a while, but I was like that.
So is this going to be in? This is interior office. So just.
This is some, yeah, where is it going to be exactly? Basically, this is wherever he is, and we have a lot of variation. He needs to be doing something that's kind of private.
Yeah.
So it could be his apartment. It could be almost any place.
Okay.
We really don't have to explain where he's doing all this.
As long as he's got his desk and his pen.
Yeah, and he's doing a lot of other stuff. We're about to jump through a whole bunch of, starting in scene 9. These are all part of a montage.
Mm-hmm.
And so all of that is going to go all the way through until scene 19. And these are just little things we're going to pick up, and we may actually have different places once we think about it, but this is my first blush. Okay, so we got a pen and paper. Okay, now, a stopwatch or just watching his pocket watch. I think it'd be just fine. So that's what I was saying earlier. So let's put him with a pocket watch here in this scene. And hopefully someone in our group has a really nice handwriting. It's not me. It's not me. I guarantee that. Because part of what we're doing in this,
That's so cool.
when he writes it perfectly, he's forming the perfect plan because he can do it over and over and over until he gets exactly right. And you'll see that he's measuring distances and timing things, and he's making the perfect plan. And so we're going to end up with this perfect, beautiful document, right? But then as things go wrong towards the end, it's going to be a metaphor for the plan going wrong, where you see him marking, scratching something out, and writing something over the top, and putting an arrow here.
Yeah.
As it gets messier, it's going to be a metaphor for the plan falling apart. So.
Well, I can do that.
I can make it messy. I'm in charge of making it messy.
I have a very girly handwriting.
Yeah, it'll probably make me hot. So, okay, so it's right there.
Or all caps. I'm good at all caps.
We need a phone, so we can use the same phone from earlier. So let's put that prop down.
For little office spaces and stuff like that, there's also almost every library has like study rooms.
Yeah.
Some are big, some are small, and you can bring stuff in and do that kind of thing. So.
Possible, yep. Okay, so he's going to make a call. Okay, here we go. A paper wrap. We're on scene 10. Well, actually, we gotta get Tommy in as the actor. Okay, we have a voice actor, so I'm gonna we don't have a name for him, but the train. I don't know if we're gonna hear that person's voice or not. Let's just leave it out for right now. If we end up with another female actress who wants a speaking role, I can get her doing that. So there's another one.
There's a student at Keller College right now who's like wanting to go into voice acting, has done a lot of professional stuff before too. So that's something to consider too.
Well, I think I'm going to do that then. We'll just write that. It's an easy way to get another someone else have a speaking role. So this will be the train clerk. No extras in the scene. That looks good. Okay, scene 10. I think I'm going to stop doubling on that. Okay, newspaper. Our prop here, so it's Tommy in our scene.
I can get you all the newspapers you want.
Newspapers and but you're looking at, and I guess you don't always have to have it in the rack. You can just have it in some kind of rack. You take it off the top and put something, that kind of thing. So some kind of rack.
On the newspaper, it's something that drove the director of the 60s play we did nuts. We could not find a newspaper that did not have color photos. So, looking for newspapers, trying to find black and white.
Yeah.
Right.
It drove her crazy because they had to read the newspaper and they would always have the color.
The color, yeah.
And in the 60s, we didn't have color. And
Yeah.
I know they didn't have color in the 20s.
Yeah.
So, there's still a point that drove her crazy
Yeah.
the entire room to play.
Okay, so we got Tommy, rack, and newspapers. Okay, symbol 11. Okay. Location. I'm just going to go back and I'm going to say office or personal area. I'm just going to. Okay, 10. This just needs to be some kind of sidewalk location where you could walk up and take it, sign up. Alright, so let, okay, back in that personal area. Okay, magazines. We need some magazines so we can butcher, or at least doesn't have to be all we use. All we're doing is cutting one letter out, so it'd be one page of some magazine. So we don't have to butcher the magazines. But anyway, magazines. It's going to need scissors. It's going to need scissors. C.
SC.
Just what right.
C-U-T-T-Y.
Yeah.
Cutting things.
Yeah.
All right, so then we're going to need glue. Piece of paper. Non-white paper. Magazines, non-white paper, and newspapers. Or at least a newspaper. Looks good.
We've still got some in our archives. When we were still printing on the press in Kilgore, the inside of the paper was black and white and only outside was colored because we had the old 4-panel press. But now we put on Long Beach press, so it's all in color. But we've got papers in the archives going back years and years and years. I can look through them.
Okay, here we go. All right, toy store. The location is some kind of maybe resale shop, toy store, something that would look, pass off with an older look. And got Tommy and the clerk here. See if we have any extras in that scene.
Do we need money to purchase them?
I don't think we have to show them.
Okay.
Although, you know, it's not a bad idea because then it would give us the opportunity to have some pretty nice cutaway shots to the hands holding the money. So let's do that.
Vintage money.
Yeah, let's do that.
It could also be a metaphor for those, you gotta spend money to make money.
Yeah.
He's giving out some, but he knows he's gonna get millions back.
Yeah.
So
You could also have him be like a little reluctant first and then just.
it's like, yeah, I'm fixing millions here.
Yeah.
And well, I guess we might need a wallet in that case. Or a money clip. Would that be more period appropriate? Money clips?
No, I'll have to look into something.
Yeah. Word search.
Okay, now we're gonna need some toys. And
I've got a giant stuffed pig flamingo.
so what happens here is he buys these small toys and he takes them to the train station. There's a woman with her young child there, and he sets them down there one time to see if he has any interest in. So he sets a choo-choo down. Don't have any interest in tasting it, throws it in the trash, sets another toy there. The audience is going, he throwing these toys away to the kid. He says like, I think he must have a frog, and the kid just loves that. And so he writes frog on his as part of his plan. And so we need toys that are like this big, you know.
I have the choo-choo. I know, it's wood. Be perfect
Yeah.
period piece. I know I've got the train.
Yeah, that's
Frog, I'm
I
out.
think I've got a frog. I
Okay.
had one in mine.
Yeah, and
No problem.
antique stores are gonna have tons of that kind of
Oh,
stuff.
yeah.
I know,
Small toys.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, cool.
The train, train I can
We get like some little toy soldiers or
do. Yeah,
old timey kind of.
with the old timey stuff.
Okay. Good. All right. So, clerk's gonna need something to clerk. Costume. Oh, that can just be a dress.
Yeah.
And okay. So last year we got the new camera and we were we had our makeup girl come in and we were trying out high definition makeup on them. And before 4K cameras, when they had high def cameras, and they went for making VHS and television stuff to, you know, the makeup was too much. It showed up on camera too much. So they created high definition makeup. So we bought high definition makeup. We tried to put it on the guys and girls, see how it goes. And the camera is just 4K. It's just you see everything, and you can see it, no matter how lightly we apply the makeup, you can see the makeup. And so we decided we were not going to put makeup on men, and then only women when it was for the purpose of showing the woman with makeup on. And in the 20s, everyone was wearing makeup. So I think what we need to do is every scene, basically all the females, we're going to have makeup on, just because it's period, correcting the period.
I don't remember the 20s. It might be 50s. I'm thinking about bright red. Was that the 20s and 30s?
Oh yeah,
That
yeah,
was-
for sure.
Yeah, that was
Lots
that year.
of blush and
Yeah,
Red
that bright
lipstick.
red. Just
Definitely has like a jazz age
yeah.
look to it.
I couldn't remember if that was 20s or 50s.
So we're definitely going to need,
No, I'm not even going to remember.
need ladies makeup for that scene.
We need a old-time cash register,
I think,
something.
you know, that would be nice.
Would be necessary.
But it wouldn't be necessary. I think if you just had a counter there, and
Yeah.
you know, I think you could get away with that
You
just
could
fine.
do a shot down at the
Texas Shakes,
Yeah.
last I remember, has one for sure.
Who does?
Or the Texas Shakespeare Festival.
Mhm.
I know they
Okay.
had one. I know that whoever was, like, when they were working on it, they were trying to get it to work. So I don't know if it'll work.
Well, we don't even need to work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
I
let's
think
go ahead
Diane
and let's
might
go
have
ahead and
one.
put
I
it down.
know she's got some antique typewriters, but I don't know if cash register.
Let's go ahead and put it down and see what we come up with. We could get by without it, but it'd be nice to have it. Just for cutaways, it'd be nice.
Yeah, theirs kind of looks like. Have you seen Mr. Emporium's Wonder Emporium? Kind of looks like the one that's in that, like the big buttons.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. All right, 13 is in a hardware store. Well, again, we could probably get away with a resale shop.
Yeah.
Don't need a resale shop. There's a bunch of different kind of things we need here. Okay, we need some rags. So this has Tommy. And props, we need rags.
There used to be a small hardware store in Hallsville. I think it's since been renovated.
Yeah. I know of some buildings that are like empty that, you know,
Yeah.
because like in New London, right across from the school, there's an old grocery store that doesn't have anything in it.
Yeah, I think we're looking for something that someplace that has an old style.
Yeah.
There's also a pharmacy in downtown Henderson that is really old. Might could look into that, even if it's just using the counter.
Pharmacy counter, board, if it's still there. That used to be Dr. Roper's, when Florida Strauss last summer. Doctor there used to be Dr. Roper. That place has been looking like that inside for over 100 years. I haven't been there in 10 years. As far as I know, it's still there and still in use. But the old soda fountain doesn't work. Soda fountain's there. Floor is hardwood. Don't wear heels, you will fall into it. It's got gaps, it's big. I speak from experience. It's got a glass knick-knack counter that they sell stuff out there.
That might work.
It's been 10 years. I feel I can certainly make phone calls and see because I worked there for a long time.
All right, so we got a couple ideas for the hardware store. Okay, plastic bottles. Plastic bottles. Rock. Metal.
Are the metal parts like for the contraption?
Yes. those are
Okay.
Metal parts. So gears, metal rods, hooks.
Plastic bottles. Weren't they still using glass in the 20s?
I don't know, maybe so. Maybe you see bottles. Let's take out the plastic. So you're probably talking about little glass bottles.
Yeah.
You're right. Okay. Gears, metal rods, hooks. Something. A lazy Susan. You know the old lazy Susan.
Yeah.
That would explain how the whole thing can rotate. So maybe some kind of lazy, old style lazy.
Lazy Susan's pretty easy to build. It's just a turntable.
I think you sprayed the thing.
And spray whatever spray you want.
So that has color. Then bright out. Okay, so there's that. Okay, so scene 14 is really now, this is actually, so those were the parts we needed back then that he buys. Now we see him assembling. And so all we need is someplace, same thing, that office personal area. And then the very parts that we described from the last scene here.
Yeah, because really, if I don't know how much you guys are about like just creating a new space, but really wherever we do the apartment scene for Johnny's apartment, we could also use it for
Yes.
those spaces and just change
Yeah.
Just change it.
everything inside.
You know, one of the things that with our last movie was a miscalculation on the part was the amount of time things took. And so we're trying to be very. I built new spreadsheets that every time you change the lighting setup, bang, it adds 45 minutes to the shoot. You know, so things are just built in. And once we realized we were losing certain amounts of time, you know, the concept that you can just turn the camera 90 degrees, and you don't know if that's, you know, unless you showed it before, that can be anywhere. You know? And so, yeah, I completely agree that we could probably get away with doing that. Okay.
Because we could just be sitting at a kitchen table.
And you could move background decorations and stuff around to kind of just mix it up a little more.
Okay.
And I found out that all that kind of stuff, there's like around here with all the theaters and all the people who collect things, you can find so much of that and just people will let you borrow it.
We were talking at work the other day how East Texas is really bad about not throwing anything.
Yeah. Was it Gladewater, like the antique capital of Texas or something?
Gladewater, and then you got Jefferson.
Oh, yeah.
Jefferson's a nice little place too, as far as antiques.
Okay, so scene 14 and scene 15, we have a potential. I'm going to go ahead and do it. We did before. So we got Tommy and the postman, and there's a potential there for another male to have a line who delivers the. Okay, so we're looking for this neat leather bag, something that was, you know, big enough. You got to think it's got bearer bonds in there, which are pieces of paper that are, you know, can hold much paper, but something that's unique looking and old, and but we need two of them. That's the rub.
Okay.
So leather bag times 2, crop.
We used one from Diane. I don't know if she's heard two of them.
So in the postman's uniform, probably the same kind of space. I mean, someplace where he's going to open the door, though. Of course, there's lots of ways to shoot that. If we need him opening the door if we're going to get the postman line. I'd like to go ahead and try to do that. You can always do the kind of thing where the door opens, you got the camera at the bottom, there's the package there, and you see him walking off, and you know, there's ways to do it the other way.
Yeah.
But I'd like to try to go ahead and have an extra line available or something.
Yeah, and if you don't have an extra person, you could always do it at a post office. Like going to a post office and getting something from that.
Oh, that's what you're saying, yeah. Yep, the one down High Street looks pretty old.
The old post office in
In Kilgore.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking about.
Oh, wait a minute, you mean the old one, like across from Texas?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
It's built in the 30s.
Yeah, I think it's a museum now, isn't it?
It's like a lab. It's like
a
you can rent
lounge
the
event
space.
space.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they have art on the
Sure.
walls. But they
No,
have,
they've got downstairs. I believe that we might want to look as far as doing a lot of actual filming there.
yeah, and they're
Where?
At the old post office in Kilgore, the old one across from
across the
Texas.
street from the Texan Theater.
If I'm right, I think we have a downstairs that no one really knows about.
I don't know
I haven't
anything
been.
about that.
I haven't.
I've only been there for an event.
Yeah.
Not to snoop
Well, I'm
around.
drawing off of, I moved away.
Yeah.
I'm drawing off a long time back, but as far as I know.
My boss is on the board of directors there, so. it's good.
Buddy, pal,
Yeah.
friend.
There you go.
You can ask about that.
Okay. All right, 16.
I'll just take over if you see entire
Yeah.
thing, just different offices.
Received, that's very possible. Received
In
that.
fact, it looks like a courthouse on the outside.
Yeah, so we got received delivered package. Okay, there's the bag. Okay. Overalls and worn shoes. That's props. Overalls, worn shoes. Workman's shoes. Let's do it that way.
Maybe a pair of boots or something. Work boots.
Need him to be able to get it off pretty quick. Some
Oh,
lace.
okay.
That's as long as it has laces, I think we're good.
Okay.
You can probably find that at Kill College. It's
Oh,
like,
Have a lot of shoes.
it's scary.
I'm gonna move all that from crop to work costume. Okay.
Oh, one of my brain said, costumes, yellow. We don't even have a yellow.
Okay, now we see him back home, back in his personal space, mixing the chemicals, putting them on the powders, all that kind of stuff.
Then on the table behind him, you see a bottle of ammonia and a bottle of bleach.
Yeah.
And it fades to black.
Yeah.
Without looking at the paper.
Okay. All right. Okay, scene 18. Here we go. Here's Tommy.
Oh, a lot.
All right, scene 18. All right, Tommy, he has a clipboard. Pad and pen. He's gonna need his watch. Toys. Okay, we're gonna need the kiddo. We're gonna need the kid.
Do you already have kids for that?
Nope.
I've got 5 younger siblings. So
Okay.
take any.
Good. Because I do not have any. And none of my relatives have any young enough for this.
Yeah.
And
Just how young do you want them?
I'm actually interested in a stuffed frog.
yeah, enough to be interested in toys, but
And dumb enough to jump out from a train for a stuffed frog. So they gotta be young.
so what are we talking about? 5 to 7?
Okay.
Because they have no
Because I also
sense.
luckily grew up here in East Texas. Almost everyone I graduated has children.
Absolutely.
So we need a mom character, the kid's mom, and I'd like to get a stroller so it looks like she has a baby. We don't like a show baby, but I want her to not be able to take perfect care of the kid because she's got
Going
two
between
things.
two.
Right. That's how the kid's able to kind of get
Okay.
down the tracks. So we also need a period stroller. Okay, we got a bench. Most likely already at the train station.
Also, Artsy is a great place to search for kids who
Oh,
are
yeah.
mature enough to
Artsy.
be.
Artsy
Artsy is
is
going to be
children's
good
theater.
because they have a lot of kids who start doing it as soon as they can walk.
Right.
Oh, there's a younger kid who's older, but he looks so tiny. He's so tiny. He might be great for that.
We used one of the arts kids the last play we did.
Yeah, they're great.
And we did. Yes, I sent you a text. We did zombie. The
Right.
other day.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I read that. It was really neat.
So, but we used one of their graduating arts kids.
So I looked up, and yes, there were vending machines in the era. We don't have to do it. Basically, the layout here is that they if they find an old there's a trash can, so we need to see if we can find an old style trash can, like maybe the wire style. That's what I had in mind. And so they have to have the trash can, and then they get the note from the trash can and tells them to go get a soda and go to the ticket counter. Well, that causes them to walk in a certain direction towards the soda machine. We could change it to something else if we needed to. I hate to haul a soda machine around.
Well, actually, soda machine is kind of easy to build. All you need is the very good laser printer for the side of the soda machine. So you don't show the front at all. You just show the side, and you just superimpose whatever word soda or something.
Yeah.
generic, can't use Coke or Dr. Pepper, but you use like soda, little bubbles on it or something, some graphic, and on the side of a large box or frame that would be the same size, and you just have them stand in front of it and shoot from the side.
I need to look at what vending, like soda machines look like then, because there's an old one sitting in a church in New London right now.
Right.
It's like but it's like an old Coke machine.
A lot of the old ones are like, they had countertop models, and then some that were slightly bigger.
And then you would pull the door
You
open,
pull the door
pull
open
the thing free. But it's not critical to the plot because we could replace it with, if there was a water fountain there, we could say go get a drink of water. We could say many things. So I don't want us to get focused on having to get that, but having something that's kind of neat there.
Dude, I'm sorry. I have just jumping in. To add another line, we could actually change it to hot dog vendor. You're in New York. I mean, you're in a subway in New York.
Right.
You're gonna have someone selling hot dogs.
Yeah. Or
So
some kind
we
of,
could just, for another line
Yep.
or so, we could stick a hot dog vendor right there. Go get a hot dog.
Yep.
Hey, you're in New York. Go get a hot dog.
Then we would have to come up with the hot dog vending
Yeah,
thing.
but
Hard,
it's just and if we don't want to haul the.
Well, let's just keep let's just keep it in mind. Try to think out.
think of something.
In my mind, what I can do is say, we'll start off dealing with locations, right? And we'll go to the locations, and then we go, hey, there's a water fountain right there, bang.
Or there's a phone right there.
Yeah. Or there's a Coke machine. We can put labels on the side of it and make it look old. Just something we can take off when we're done. So I figure let's see what we can work with that's there, and then fill in.
Okay.
Okay, so we're going to go ahead and write something in this thing like a Coke machine, but realizing it could be almost anything that could work in its stead.
There's also I've never been in the store, I only walked past it, but there's like a collector's store in downtown Nacogdoches that has like all kind of Coke, and they might have a vending machine or something like that.
Right.
So, but
And one of the things that's difficult is, as we pull in people into the club, people with trucks, we need people with trucks.
Yeah.
So my dad's got one truck. I have my minivan.
I have a Camry.
Yeah, you see, it's hard to move stuff at Camry.
I have a Kia Sportage, but let me tell you, it'll fit a lot inside.
It
It fit all the camera stuff in my trunk, but that's
That's
about
right.
it.
Yeah. Well, I
All
can
the costumes.
I can get pretty much all the equipment in the truck and the lighting equipment and everything in the truck and the van. Still end up having a two driver and one seat in the van. But let Alex, who I don't think is going to be active this year, he had the other truck. So we can borrow his truck.
I know where we can. My dad's got a truck. He's really picky about the truck now, and I'm telling you, I can't drive it. But he might, if I beg and plead. It's a Toyota Tundra, crew, extended cab. So we can haul a lot with that truck.
Oh yeah. Well, let's
I have to do some serious begging and pleading to
Yeah.
get it away from him.
We'll see how it goes. We can always beg and plead if we get desperate. Okay, scene 19. Okay, this is where is this location? We're at the rail station. All right, now this scene probably could do with having some extras in it. Yeah, it's right back on 18. I was just finishing it up. And I think to just walk bys. So take a look at that. It wasn't a lot. It's not, maybe not, but we'll see. It couldn't hurt to have a couple walk bys. All right, 19. Public restroom. We're looking for an old style public restroom. My guess is that, have you been down, I don't know if we're going to need permission to do that along the train station or not, but man, it is really very much imperial. right?
Yeah.
That's good.
You know, so I guess if the bathrooms look like their office areas, it's perfect.
Yeah.
Actually, I've never been to the Long Beach train station.
Very nice.
I haven't
It's
been
a
in
neat
years.
old style station. Okay, so we need an old style public restroom. That's probably the train station. Okay.
If not, school bathrooms, maybe old
Cut
school.
away.
Yeah, like the old Foster Middle School, but they closed in Longview a couple years ago. You know, that used to be the old Longview High School back in the early days of the town.
Yeah.
That has very dated stuff everywhere.
Yeah.
So-
Russ County Courthouse bathrooms are straight out of the 1940s.
Oh my goodness.
That's hysterical. Okay, so we need a sink. And water. And then we need something, we're gonna overflow it just a little bit, so we need something to catch.
And cleaning supplies.
Yeah, clean up afterwards, yeah.
A map.
Yeah.
A bunch of towels.
Yeah. Okay.
Some very giving people. Who want to clean it.
We'll break into the movies.
Yeah.
Gotta start somewhere.
That's a starring role for you.
Okay, so we're back at the apartment. Watching. Okay, so back at the apartment. This is the old apartment. Location. And we have Johnny, Sue, and that's it. So they're going to be in there, or the couch or something like that, and sit together. Clock.
I have a picture of a couch in the parties. We might have one at our theater. Ugliest couch you've ever seen. This is an antique. I know it's an antique. I just don't know what era it is.
Okay, we need a clock, and their apartment and couch. Their clothes. Now, because again we can jump around, because the story has us jumping around in time, this dialogue could very easily have been at the end of this very same day that the earlier, even though it seems like a lot of time's passed, it's just because he keeps resetting and going over. That could easily be the same set of clothes, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I think so too. So we don't have to have.
Especially the men's suits and stuff like that. You know, almost. I think every guy can have one suit because you can have shots of them without a jacket, with a jacket.
Yeah.
You know,
Let's change it up a little.
and that's how I feel. That's like the majority of costumes in general. Like the women are the ones who have the most costumes.
Yeah.
I agree.
No more quick changes, please.
Okay, so we're on scene 21. Let's see here. Now, I know it looks like we have a lot left, But in truth, we're only going to go through one iteration here because these things will go back through time.
Right.
They have exactly the same things, and there's
Right.
only one place where there's anything different. There's a location switch one time, and then there's where it gets the equivalent of a twisty tie kind of thing.
Yeah.
And so, all right, so all right, we need, so we got the, okay, starting on 21. We got Tommy. And he is wearing, we're going to need his overalls and work shoes. And his watch. His clip, and then here his clipboard. And a pad, a pen. We need a luggage cart. We need some kind of flat cart that has a straight up handle that can push like that. So we need some kind of old style luggage cart. Now I have to say, I had one a couple years ago that I just got at Sam's. And it was this brown hard plastic, but it looked like something. You could have passed it off as something from 50, 100 years ago. So I think they can be had even if they are newer.
Mm-hmm.
So we need some kind of luggage cart for him to push, because that's where he puts the little device thing on there and extra.
Yeah, Rob's gonna have fun with that one. I understand all the pieces, but to get it to drop the bag that's
See, my thought here is that all it has to do is really spin, because what we can do is we can tape it from different angles, moving it a little bit and doing that, and just cut away the parts where the hands are there and things like
It could
that.
be just manually controlled.
Manually
Well,
controlled.
no, I was thinking of how do you pick up and then set down?
Yeah.
That's the part I was.
So the first, so you'd have to have something sitting on that bag sitting on the front with a hook on it, and then the hook, and then the arm coming off the side with a hook on it. So as you went by, you hook the bag, and that's gonna pull it up here and bring the other one just rotate.
Yeah.
That's the way I'm thinking.
But then you gotta set the other one. How do you get it? Hooking is one thing, and then you have to unhook. So you have to actually back up, and so you
Have a hinge or something.
Yeah, you have to have
Dropped
a
it.
hinge.
And
That's gonna take some thinking.
Yeah, that one. Yeah, I'm not in props on that one. I love anything else, but I'm not in that one.
Yeah.
Like I said, I understand. I can see it. I can see the movement just as clearly.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to figure out how to actually make it function.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, yeah, you can use your hands to rotate it, so it doesn't have to actually be mechanical. But just the hook, you can get a hook.
Yeah.
And just swing by and hook. That's not the difficult. It's the switch and drop that I'm sitting here trying to figure out. Unless you made the hook to where when you switch and drop, you can turn the hook and it just unflips.
Yeah. And the beauty is this. The beauty is just as it's doing it, you can then cut into a close-up when you stand there with your finger pushing it on one side, not even moving the hook back.
Yeah, it's like, I see the box, I can see it, I can visualize it, but the actual mechanical getting that hook to hook and unhook, I am,
Yeah, it doesn't.
that one's got me.
Okay.
That's also something I've never had to create before, though.
Yeah.
I don't have very many calls for that in Shakespeare.
Okay, so we got Tommy, we got Johnny, we've got the book, we've got Tommy, overalls. I think this is just a suit. Suit. Tommy's suit and Johnny's work clothes.
And on Tommy, his suit is little threadbare.
Well, we've got him, Tommy.
Johnny, sorry.
Yeah, he's not in a suit. We're just keeping him in work clothes. He's just standing over there.
You know, if you didn't work clothes, okay. I didn't know if you wanted to change it into
No.
a suit or something.
No, I think he's leaving work.
Usually work clothes.
Yeah.
Because we did that, it still needs to look shouty and like threadbare and
I agree.
stuff
Yeah,
like that.
yeah. He's not living the high life, that's for sure. Train station, okay, number 23. Where are we doing that? Okay, so this, if we do it in Longview, in Longview train station, the train station's like this, and then over here, Longview built one of those pavilions, little pavilion things there, and I think that'd be fine. I think it'd be fine to use that. So we can, there's a pavilion there. There's also on the side there, it's kind of the older buildings with the Greyhound railway stations like that. And I think we fill up near the sidewalk area without showing, pictures of the signage.
Longview is all, I don't know how, I haven't seen it yet, but in January, Longview is also opening its arboretum.
Where's that?
Near Log.
That was
There's one of the entrances of Cotton Street.
Oh, is it Cotton? Okay, Cotton, wrong direction, sorry. Yeah.
They
they're
opened it for like a preview on Saturday.
Right,
I
and
didn't
it's
get
gonna
Yeah.
officially open in January.
Something. Yeah, I don't remember exactly.
Not associated with Montcalm.
No, it's a
No.
separate.
It is separate. It's not, they have another thing going in over at
it's-
Montcalm. It's got the location switched.
11-acre
Yeah,
nature
Really?
space
it really
pavilion.
is. Really nice.
Neat. Been working on it for several years.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, so they've got they're opened it up. So I was just thinking as a
Exterior
exterior
location.
location,
Yeah.
that would be a good
Yeah.
promotion for Longview at any rate.
Yeah.
Okay, so scene 23. This is Tommy. Vito. It's a newspaper. A note. Trash can. The pad. The clipboard. Vito's.
This is on 23.
23.
Yeah. So 23 and 24 say the exact same thing as the supposed to be.
That really, one is, one's internal, one's external.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah,
Easy.
one, I'm trying to shoot from the inside of the railway station through a window. So we see Vito coming up from, outside.
Oh,
So we shoot,
okay.
yeah, and we shoot the whole thing that way, and then we're gonna shoot the exact same thing outside where the trash can is and Vito is. So
Cool.
just cut back. There's a nice suit. Overalls. Alright, that looks good. And this is a rail station and what's that area in the rail station? Just the waiting, the lounge area, waiting lounge. Actually, I'm gonna call it take. It's all one thing there. Okay, so 24 is exactly the same thing. So I'm just I'll take it off. 25, we introduce our South American gangsters, Angler and 2 henchmen.
Trying to figure out what a leather bad is.
Leather, what is it?
Bad.
Leather bad. No.
Typo there.
Okay, leather bag and violin case.
Is this the one that there's the same leather bags?
Yes, this is one of 2 leather bags.
Which,
There's some tattoo parlors that'll do temporary tattoos.
But you don't even need a tattoo parlor. You can just go down to uh, Michael's and stuff. They have tattoo ink. You can just draw on.
Okay.
Temporary draw on
Probably
tattoo.
get time to draw something.
Cool.
All right, I had,
I didn't know that there was, so that's really good information.
Yeah. So you can try it out. There's also some service online where you can just design it and order it.
Oh, yeah, I've seen those.
Yeah.
okay,
If I'm grabbing it, well, actually, I wanted to grab him. The art district downtown Longview has the artists, the paintings and stuff.
Mhm.
You know, one of those for
Yeah.
a mention, you know, could be have a draw tattoo.
Tommy's a painter.
Mhm.
Oh, never mind.
Okay, so here's a question. I originally envisioned this, that we would be able to shoot at the train station, and we could shoot the thing without a train. But it'd be nice if a train came up, if we had a train there.
Yeah.
And, because all we really need to have happen is, and I guess this is part of asking permission, just have, one shot of them looking through the window as the train, just looking out at the train station, and then just getting off. And once they're off, they're done. So we'll find a way to ask permission for that. So we'll go ahead and write it that way, and then ask for permission. Okay, so this is a train itself on the train, and exiting train. And then there's also on the platform. You come down onto the train platform. Okay. All right. That's it. Let's go to 26. 226. Okay, this is Tommy. Extras. And then the prop is the frog. The cart. Newspaper. Note. Trash can. And Coke machine or substitute. Okay, and then he's going to take some of it. He's going to take some in a bag. We'll make it a paper bag or some, not a plastic bag. Sack of some sort. Those for the extras. And this is all the train station. Alright. Public restroom. He's in the restroom. He's got all the rags. the rags, he's got the bottles, and rags and bottles, looks good.
On the bubbly chemical, when he pours the bottle of chemical, did you want to use like bubble bath? Or did you want to do like a liquid and then cut away and then have a bubble, or we would switch that with baking soda?
I don't know. We're just gonna have to figure out. It's such a quick scene anyway, it's such a quick shot anyway, rather than not have to cut away, we could avoid it.
Okay.
But if we can just come up with something, some simple chemical reaction, I just, you know.
Yeah, because for that kind of thing, well, like if you wanted to do like baking soda and vinegar or something like that, you could put the baking soda in the toilet and then pour the
on top of it.
Yeah, it's like whatever makes it. You just have something already in the toilet and whatever thing you put in there,
Like that.
and it was.
Because baking soda makes a better bubble.
Yeah.
Than bubble bath.
It kind of just
Yeah,
fills up. Yeah.
So what are you thinking there? You think vinegar, baking soda?
Maybe I just don't know how that stuff does in pipes.
Yeah.
We're not going to have a huge reaction. We're just going to pour some
It's
bubbles.
like just a little bit, yeah.
Well, if we dust the sink basically with a good sprinkling of baking soda, and then he just turns on the water. We have it pre-fixed. He turns on the water, that would cause an immediate reaction.
So in the sink.
But no, he's not pouring.
This is in the toilet.
Yeah, that's
I'm sorry, the toilet.
Yeah, in the sink he's just pushing.
Yeah,
and
faucet
block it up, turning on the water, and
So-
then he's going to pour it in, and we can use the baking soda.
We did
in
that.
Yeah.
Baking soda and then-
I can do some research on that kind of thing.
If we were shooting from the side,
And it's really the kind of thing that, I mean, we've got a person who's going to do special effects, so we're just going to hand off that to them.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Let them research it.
Yeah.
So I just note down something that
Mhm.
was.
I think baking soda would be very good.
Yeah, I just don't know. Yeah, I just
I
don't
don't think
know.
it harms them.
I wouldn't think it does.
Not really.
Both of those are cleaners.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
is.
that's true.
It's a cleaner, so maybe anything will be cleaning their pipes.
Yeah.
instead of-
And we're putting soda in
Yeah, that's
It's just
true.
enough to make it start
there.
bubbling.
Just
Yeah.
Yeah, but baking
3
soda.
seconds worth of bubble.
But I don't know how baking soda films on camera.
We'll probably have to test that
I'll
out.
test that.
Yeah.
When we talk to Mitchell,
Okay. But
actually Mitchell just called me.
okay. It's like I don't know how it films on camera, but it feels good bubbles. Baking soda should be good.
It's 2 o'clock. Those are me. I have to call him back. So it's the drains, there's the simple chemicals, bubble reaction. Okay, it's going that's going to 28. So we have Tommy. 28. Okay, so they go, so angler and issue, go to trash can, pick up Tommy's swap newspaper, pulls the note from inside. Okay, we just get a soap up, and just run and walk away. Okay, so there's nothing there that, I'm just gonna cut ahead a little bit, there's nothing there that we haven't already mentioned. We've already got that, I'll break it out here. Coke machine, okay, we have that, they go over to get one out. So we need some, if we have a Coke machine, we gotta have a Coke. We need a sign. We need a sign that says ticket booth. Okay, 29. Where did that happen? That's a rail station. 29. Okay, so the water is now coming outside. I want to see 30. Okay, there. So there's a restroom. The water is coming. We're making it look like we blocked up the sinks and that water was coming out. So we need to have a water source. Water or spill source. That could be some 5-gallon buckets and stuff like that. That's just putting water out there. We need the mop. We need the out of order. Is this where I have that?
Yes. On which one?
30?
30, yes.
Yeah, the out
Second one.
order sign. And the mop has a water on the pavement. We need to have clean up tools. Push back in the direction. That's good. All right, 31. Angle arrangement, walk near the tracks. Other kid facing away from us. There's no new characters here. You sit down the bag, push the cart by, picks it up, swaps it out. He walks on, strips the overall, puts his new clothes on. Hey, Mitchell. Hey, buddy, I missed your call earlier. What's up, man? Yeah, we're just about to wrap up. And there's a couple of new, once we get this all sorted out, there's a couple of new special effects things on the list for you too. So, yep, okay, yeah, we're less than 10 minutes out, and we'll get it all together early this week and start shooting out to everybody so everyone can start thinking about how do we come up with these various items and locations and things like that. All right, man? Oh yeah. But I'm usually I pretty much I leave town at a little after 5:30, and in the morning, and I get home just before 5 in the evening. And sure, yeah, you bet. Let's wait until I get everything into lists, so I'm not wasting your time. But we're gonna get the lists made up and out to everybody so everybody can start thinking about where do we come up with all these items we need, where do we get these locations, etc. But yeah, if we get that court done first, then we'll, you know, we'll waste folks' time and then kind of big on that. So. Uh, Yeah. Well, so yeah, this was a 12 to 2 meeting. I'm only 6 minutes late so far, so I'm doing pretty good. But yeah, let me catch up. Sorry. Yeah, let me catch up with you in a day or two, and then we'll get together. All right, sounds good, man. Bye bye. Okay, where were we? 31? Nothing special there. Goes around, walks off. Okay.
That's the machine.
Yeah, that's the machine one.
So that's the machine. That's where I actually used the machine for the first time. Oh, and of course the bags, so there's nothing new there, except for the machine actually got to store. Okay, Johnny standing under the tree, that's the pavilion. Book, nothing special there. Okay, scene 33, we need an old-timey car. I was thinking about reusing the lady with the baby carriage to be the person who walked out in front of the car and the car had to break a little bit. And so I think we can reuse her in this scene. So we'll have the lady and the kid, Tommy, Johnny.
easy time riding is this push lady onto a dress. This is the reason I wear the shirt.
And so we'll CGI in the bird, and a bullet, and okay, you see the angler for the first time with the Tommy gun, and the other mobsters. So we've got we're gonna call them extras because they're not speaking in this thing, but these are the extra mobsters, and we're gonna need pretty much all our guns and the Tommy guns.
Question real quick.
Yep.
Things like handkerchief, do you want that to be a prop thing or a costume thing, or it doesn't matter?
I'm guessing that if they're gonna have it on their I don't know. What do you think?
If they're wearing it,
I think it's gonna be, like, if he's gonna put it back in his pocket,
Yep.
then I think it's a costume.
Okay.
And just because that way you have whoever's doing your costumes can make sure it matches and all that.
I agree. Let's stick it in there. Okay, we got Sue. Also Sue. Let's see. All right.
Okay, this is the thing that's got me worried as far as costuming.
Mhm.
If you've got Sue
Yep.
holding Johnny
Yep.
and cradling him, you're gonna get blood on that costume.
I've been thinking the same thing. I know what you're saying.
Do we need multiple costumes
Oh,
looking like?
gosh.
Or are we gonna cut and wash the costume? Or
Just shoot it last.
just shoot it last and
So in my mind, the thing that makes this story work is that the thing that's going to sell it at the end is Sue's emotional reaction. I think it's the most important thing in the whole story. And if she can't break our hearts and make us cry, then we will not have succeeded. And so there's that. And so doesn't she have to be going, oh God, and her love of her
But she's gonna
life
have to be holding
is
it.
Well,
I mean, he's right there.
I
She's
mean,
not gonna say,
if you
"Ooh,
want
blood."
to, if you really want to avoid her getting it on her costume, you could have her pick him up and lay him on her lap, and it can get on her arms and stuff
Yeah.
like that.
but not
Instead of,
clothes.
yeah,
Yeah.
like almost like holding his head more than holding his body.
Yeah.
Right.
It's
Yeah.
possible.
You're just saying there's still gonna be blood now, but
You know,
even
what
even
if-
put it on his lap.
Yeah.
What if you put her in what if you put her in a instead of having
Would she be wearing an
blouse,
apron?
a blouse? that-
Like a worker? Maybe she.
A blouse and skirt.
So what do you think about it? They're about to leave. You know, the whole thing here is they're
Yeah.
as soon as this is over, we're getting out of Skid Row, we're walking away.
Or jacket.
Maybe we protect her with a jacket. Maybe a darker jacket although, in my mind, I kind of saw it as he's laying on the ground, he's already fallen, he's dead on the ground, and she comes over to him and pulls him on towards her. Well, we can just have her not, get the blood, get the blood on her hands
Just
and
on her
my hands
hands.
and like that, and try not to get it on her dress, try not to get it on her blouse. What do you think? I think we could probably keep it off.
We could.
Because, I mean,
That's gonna be
You
a blocking.
yeah, because, I mean, with anything, it's like, we're putting where the blood is, we're telling her
Yeah.
where to sit,
Sit
so
where-
there's going to be a way to not
Could
get
we
on her.
CGI blood in?
We could, but it's not good.
Okay, because it's just like that'd be easiest if we could just CGI the blood. But
I would try.
because if you're wanting the state of emotion that you're looking for, she's not gonna run down and go to grab him and go, "Oh my God, he's bleeding. I'm not touching that."
Right.
She
We'll
is
probably have to. We can
Gone.
cover those things, right? She comes running up, and she goes down, and we cut to Tommy, looking like that, and then the next thing you see is,
she could be okay.
in
so we can do the
position,
Mhm.
we can make that
cut.
work.
We can do
Yeah,
that
it's-
because that way you can be positioned without her having to pull him herself.
Yeah, because I was thinking about that when we were talking about it the
Mhm.
last meeting, and I was like, Well, the thing about this is it's a very controlled environment. You get to control every
Yeah.
single part of it.
Right.
So,
I'm just, yeah, because it's to get the intensity.
Mhm.
That's gonna be a blocking issue. So if we can do a cut scene right there and then reposition, that would avoid
I think
getting any blood on the outfit.
So, all right. So I think that's all. I think it's all the props, and there's no reason to copy and paste all this moving forward for the next, retakes of it. And of course, we're going to be doing these things where we're going to reshoot portions of it, not everything, of the iterations, where there's some differences, but we're also going to be shortening the clips. And in fact, I had an idea last night. Oh, I had so many ideas after you left here today. Well, we were using the new equipment, and I was like, oh man. I think we could do the last iteration to it where he just goes to it unemotionally, like he's realized. You don't know what he's realized, but you realize he has accepted the inevitability of this. And I had this idea we could do this where we show him doing just a little bit, and then you could go, and then there's just pop, 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 little clips from just little half second pop, 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 pop,
Yeah.
through it, and he does this and this, pop, 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 pop. So we can make it. I think it's really a neat way
That'd be pretty cool.
to show that he's disconnected from reality.
Yeah.
Lack of emotion, disconnected. Anyway, go ahead.
That brings up the ending that we were discussing, whether they do or do not take the bag. I know you said that Johnny is not the type of person that would take the bag, but if Tommy is he knows the inevitable, he knows this is going to happen, why is he still taking that bag? Other than to intend for Johnny to have the bag to start the new life that he couldn't
Why
have.
didn't he just stop it before then?
Yeah, that's not.
If he wanted to stop it, he could just.
If he knows this is his inevitable fate,
There's some logic there.
would he still do it, or would he say, "Hey, my friend who trusts me, who is my brother," because he's quoted this, that he is his brother, he would do anything for him. Would he go ahead and continue to steal that money to give it to him? Because he knows he's leaving. He knows he's starting a new life.
or does the
Or does he die
woman
for
take the
nothing?
bag?
Yeah.
Does the woman pick up the bag?
Or does he die for nothing because now he's dead, they're leaving, and the bag's still there? So what would be the point of his death? I mean, obviously, other than saving him, but why wouldn't he have just closed the book and go, okay, we can't do
And
this?
just stop doing it, right?
Right. Other than to give the money to him to start his new life.
Unless he believes. So, in my mind, when I was writing it, when that page closes on its own, remember the rule, the book's rule, when the page closes on its own, everything that happened in the chapter before is forgotten. It goes ahead just as the book was written.
Yeah.
And so in my mind, what was going on there is, Tommy can reset the chapter, but he can't let it go forward because his friend's dead. So he has to reset the chapter. And so it gets down to and so he's got to go through it again. Is the reason that I in my mind why he did. But there's the other question: why didn't he just stop somewhere earlier? And in my mind, the answer to that was he's already proven to himself by doing it these 3 times that fate intends someone to die. And that's what I thought of it.
But would the audience see it?
I don't know.
I know.
It's too short.
I know the meaning.
Yeah, you really got to think through it to understand it, and I don't think the audience will either.
I don't think so. That's why I'm sitting there. I'm still pushing for them to walk off with that briefcase, and not out of
I'm still flexible.
not out of greed
Yeah.
on his part, but out of sacrifice on the other part.
Maybe here's what
Film both
we
endings.
feel about it.
That's what I was thinking. We could film both endings and see which one
and
makes
then we see what kind of how people react. to
Yeah.
different endings. Because it's so easy, because it's no problem. They're either walking off into the sunset hand in hand with no bag, or they're walking in the sand with the bag. And so it's easy to film
And
two.
that's always been my question is,
I've had the question.
why would he continue and sacrifice his life for nothing? I mean,
Well, he didn't do it for nothing. In my mind, he did it because he knew there was no other option.
Right.
He proved it to himself that
That somebody was going to die. But, you know,
he'd
it's
set everything
still,
in motion at that point.
right, but you still got basically the cause without the effect, I
Yeah.
guess is what I'm saying. Because he knows someone's gonna die, he knows he has to do this, he knows he's doing this, but at this point, why doesn't he do something, why doesn't he go left, you know, and just wait for everything to work itself out, and then go, okay, that's good. You know?
And there's a logic that says if he reset and from the very first instant he just went up to Johnny and said, okay, let's go have a beer and let's go,
Yeah.
let's leave.
Because they did that at the
yeah.
courthouse,
Right.
you know? They did that at the courthouse. They reset. When he first figured it out, they reset. And he said, no, let's go sit down.
Right.
You know?
Something about that to me is that he doesn't want anything to do with all this crazy stuff. And you know, when the first time it happens, you have like gunfire breaks loose and all these people are coming at them, and he's not going to want to deal with all that.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, so
Yeah, and that's also said that I think shooting both endings would
Yeah.
be the
It wouldn't be
best.
too hard to shoot them both.
No.
Yeah.
I think it'd make more sense
It's
because
just two different scenes.
it's like,
And the other
You
thing
know.
that bothered me that you guys haven't mentioned is this is the other one that bothered me was that when the page turns and they're walking, you see them walking off hand in hand. Well, his best friend has just died. Right? Okay. But the rule on the page turn is if it turns, then everything that came before really didn't happen. All his friend didn't really die. They're leaving on their own. They're getting out of Skid Row. I don't even know if the money would be there for them to take with them if everything would be set to happen the way it should have. See, that's anyway. So that's
Yeah.
anyway.
and that's
listen, my brain has been in this because I've been watching Russian Dolls on Netflix, and the whole thing is just this person dying over and over, and then trying to not die. So
now the more interesting one is go check out one of the Star Trek Next Generation episodes.
Yeah,
They get caught in time warp and keep exploding with each other. Oh.
my favorite one of those is. Did you ever see the one where the Enterprise comes back after they're in that battle, and he says, "Just one more ship in the here and now doesn't make any difference, but one ship 25 years ago would have made all the difference." That's my favorite moment. I thought that was goosebumps.
No, I kind of like the original Trouble with Tribbles.
Yeah.
I actually had a stuffed Tribble.
Oh, nice.
Okay, all right, guys. So I will finish. I know we kind of zipped through these last maybe 4 or 5. I'll flesh those out a little better, and then I'll get those off. And what I'd like to do is see if we can make just a list. Like I said, this is broken out by chapter, by scene. But if we can just make a list of everything,
like a
we
props list and a costumes.
yeah, break it out, and so we will send it out and say, here's what we're looking for. And if what we're looking for is if you have something like this yourself, and you say, that's great, that's free. Yeah, if we can borrow it, it's free, that's great. Anyway.
With like costumes and stuff like that, because like at least sitting here, we've like fleshed out some of the costumes that we want. Do you want me to include pictures, or do you want them to provide their own pictures or stuff like that?
Them to provide pictures.
Or like
Are we saying like to provide to
for
these people?
them, yeah, for like the things that you're like, oh, this is what I want. If
We're
there's
looking
something
for something
specific,
like this. I mean,
yeah, that
that's
kind
probably a
of
good
thing.
idea. Yeah. The typical mobster pin suit and the white linen suit and then the flapper dress. Those were the, and then the other few we kind of define.
I'll get a picture of that ugly couch and storage for the theater.
Well, I gotta go ahead and go. All right, I'm gonna get to work at 3.
Okay. All right. Thanks, buddy. Appreciate it.
Good seeing everybody.
Let's see.
So
Have a good day.
get a little further down there. I just stayed awake half the night last night. Just
couch
popping
is
up. You do this.
Yeah.
It's a-
Well, we'll
it's a
talk
green-
about it.
It's ugly
All right, y'all-
green
later,
pea color that you can imagine. The couch is horrid, but I think it's more of a 60s style than 20s. So I really need a design.
So I'll finish this up probably tomorrow at lunch, and I'll shoot you a copy then.
Cool.
And my intention is to get all the new cards ordered, get all the faint forms and everything, and then as soon as Tony feels up to it, try to figure out where to call around and see if we can get permission to, I guess what, you go out there for, hey, can we come out for 4 hours in the middle of the day and do this, and we'll give you a credit in the next film.
Yeah, I don't know about the way it looks or anything, just because I don't know train stations or anything, but another train station, even if it's just for them getting off at a train, is whichever train station does the like Polar Express stuff during Christmas and that kind of thing. Because it's like
Is it
mainly,
Palestine?
I think it might be Palestine. It's
Palestine.
mainly all like like it's a tourist spot,
Right.
you know, and they have a train that works that they do use for those kind of things.
That's right. That's probably also true of Jefferson.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
That's great.
That's true too.
That's great. Yeah, that wouldn't be too far to have to do either of those.
But I was thinking, like, if like Longview has the look, we can do all the other stuff at Longview, but the person getting off the train and that kind of thing.
So probably once we get these lists out to folks, probably the very next thing we need to do is start with locations, and then we all. I have.
That's the courthouse.
Oh, that's the courthouse. Oh, that's really nice.
Something for the apartments too that I was thinking about is people who have like old garage apartments on the inside might be like, because those spaces are always small. And,
Small.
I mean, I know that there's an apartment that I looked at not too long ago in Kilgore for somebody who that might have that look that you need.
And you have all those loft apartments that they've turned in downtown in Kilgore as well.
Yeah, they probably nice them up.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sure, considering, there's that one that's on the corner beside the locksmith. Used to be a ballet place 100 years ago. They turned that into a...
Yeah, I've just been trying to like look like while I'm driving around or something, like look at places that have those lofts that at least the outside has the like 1920s architecture, because sometimes if the outside looks like it, the inside
Turn
might.
down, you know where the locksmith is, the main road going, the Texan Theater is on? Okay, 2 streets before, you have that locksmith right there.
Mhm.
There is a big glass 2-story building.
Mhm.
If you go down that road, on the side, you'll see a little bitty doorway.
Mhm.
And you open the door, and it's a straight shot stairway up to the top. Now, they turned that as lofts, and they really upgraded from what I understand. But that is a great, like, outside shot as far as maybe you're going into not a very nice looking apartment complex. Because this is, it's narrow, and you're going that way. I mean, but anyway, it's right beside that locksmith. You turn down that street.
So how does this work if we want to close off an area?
I will contact some people in City Hall. I don't know exactly who we need to talk to. Probably road or room.
Yeah, I can't, or like event committee, like committees for that kind of thing. I don't remember exactly who we used to talk to in Henderson, but it was a fairly easy process, especially if it was like, not a road that was super.
Right.
So
And
I
work in City Hall. I can send out emails Monday.
I'd be interested to know what's required there. Shooting in the downtown, like where Gerald's, it used to be, the Martini Bar in the downtown Tyler Street there, and they have some little loft apartments there, and the buildings are 2 to 3 story and little things, and that's one place. The other place is right there at that 6-story building on Green, right there. We could have cars coming up like that and get up on the 3rd or 4th floor and look just down to the window and make that work. So we could do it from those windows don't open. That's the problem.
No.
They don't open. Anyway, but a small downtown thing for 1 hour. That's the kind of thing we'd be looking for. Is a small section of road where the cars weren't coming down it for a 1 hour period, and these old timey cars would be coming in and pulling up into the street, and we need it for maybe an hour.
Can I send out emails and get all that information tomorrow?
Okay. Well, let's just see what's involved. See how easy the city is to work with.
I don't know on that. I know I can get it started.
Get started and find out, yeah. Okay, well, sounds good, all right. Well, thanks, guys, appreciate it.
Right.
Yeah, this really looks like Skittles. Threw up on it.
I know, I quit coloring halfway through mine. It's like, yeah, y'all were doing so good.
Yeah.
I have to do this for every single script for every single show that I work on.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Because you need to know, there's nothing worse than getting there and going, okay, who has this? And you're like, when did we need that?
Who said we needed that?
That's when normally I would say, did you check your production report?
Gonna log off now.
Did you check your rehearsal report?